Hi everyone! Let's do a quick walk around of our tiny house as it stands currently in Northern Ontario. In this video, I'm going to show you the pictures I drew to design the tiny house that we currently live in. More importantly, however, I'm going to talk to you about the problems with living in a tiny house in Ontario and the laws that you have to deal with and be aware of in order to live in a tiny house in Northern Ontario, because for the most part, it's kind of illegal. You need to live in a tiny house in an unincorporated area. So I'll have to try my best in this video to kind of explain that to you. First, I'd like to show you some of the drawings that I used, sketches. I got some drafting paper. It's just regular paper with little squares on it, and I used all the windows and doors that I had purchased. So I knew the sizes of those, and then I went from there and kind of put the house together. I am no architect, but we were able to take these sketches, my dad and I, and use them to build the tiny house. Because we rented land and lived in an RV for the last 3 years prior to building and finishing the tiny house, we were able to save money for land. The land that we purchased is in an incorporated township of Schreiber. So that means that we are not legally allowed to live in our tiny house on our property without a building permit. That also means that we have to build a house and cannot live in our tiny house on a regular basis. Do you see that border? That's the town's border. So we have to follow the town's rules when we are within the town's border. However, we have found a property right here that is on the other side of the town's border, and we can legally live in our tiny house. Our plan is to stay on this rental property until we can get a building permit for our tiny house and legally live on our land. If we don't play by the rules, we could end up like this BC couple. Okay, I'm gonna go back to the past and back to where we are continuing to build our tiny house. We took some time to obviously take all the scrap metal into the dump, and then from there my dad surprised us and put all the framing on for us. So here's some footage of the framing. I don't have footage of the build of the framing because my dad did it for us. All the 2x6s were secured with bolts to the frame. We're gonna bring it home. It's ready to go. My dad added some supports because we're gonna be building on there. Yeah, this is exciting. We're gonna bring it home so we can start putting walls and everything else on it. So there it is. Beautiful. We offer Canadian handmade products on our website called redheadnatureproduct.com. Please support us.